Great question. Here's an overview of how I work and how we can optimize our collaboration. How I work: real-time processing. I process and generate responses based on the information and context provided in real time. I rely on the instructions you give me in the moment, along with any relevant prior context. However, if new information or directives come in, I may shift focus toward those. Segmented focus. When you give me specific instructions, I focus on that particular segment or task. For example, if you ask me to write a headline or a call to action, I concentrate on crafting that piece based on best practices, sometimes overlooking the broader strategy unless you explicitly ask me to consider it. I can remember some of our past interactions to ensure continuity in the conversation, but if too much new information comes in, I might prioritize the latest directive. This can make it seem like I've forgotten the core information or de emphasized earlier instructions. Efficient execution. My aim is to follow the most recent directive, but if the context shifts frequently without clear instructions, I might deviate from the core goal unintentionally. How to optimize the process. 1. Clear, hierarchical instructions. When giving me directives, try to outline the primary focus and secondary goals. For example, write an engaging headline, but make sure it aligns with the emotional appeal we discussed earlier. 2. Reminders of core focus. When adding new information, it's helpful to restate the primary focus if it's critical that I don't deviate from it. This helps me stay anchored to your main goal while incorporating new directives. Example, we're focusing on engagement here, but I also want to include some social proof in the body copy. 3. Iterative refinement. After I generate a first draft of content, we can refine it together. You can direct me to adjust specific parts, ensuring that the core message remains intact. Example, this is great, but can we emphasize the urgency a bit more in the call to action? 4. Chunking complex tasks. For complex projects, we can work on different components, one step at a time. By breaking down the task, we can keep the focus tight and ensure each part is polished before moving on to the next. Example, first, let's draft the hook, then we'll focus on the body, and finally we'll refine the CTA. 5. Consistency in directives. Try to maintain consistency in your directives throughout a session to ensure I don't inadvertently shift focus. If there's a change in priorities, explicitly state it so I can recalibrate. Example, we're changing direction now, and instead of focusing on benefits, let's emphasize the emotional impact. Efficiency and best outcomes. To get the best outcome, state the main goal first, and then give specific instructions on individual segments. Use clear transitions when introducing new information or changing direction. Review the output step by step to ensure alignment with your broader goals. Collaborate interactively to refine and polish the content based on your vision. Does this help clarify things? Would you like to test this approach with a specific copywriting task?